pull up my notes.
I don't wear hats a lot, but it was 84 degrees in my store today, and I didn't have time to shower. So do I look all right?
Yeah, you look great.
Yeah, you look great, dude.
Right.
When you couldn't hear us, I described you as you look like a pizza delivery guy that was robbing your customers by eating their food. Okay, you guys ready for this? We're just going to keep it going.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready too. Did you hear me? I'm ready. All right, so we're going to start out with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the 101 from this draft class in our Dynasty League. Rough pick, pal. Appreciate it. But
He's a bust. He's a bust.
He's a bust.
People tiptoeing around this. CH is a bust. He went to Kansas City. Everyone thought he was going to be awesome, even though Johnathan Taylor was objectively a better player than him. You could see it on the film. I tried to trade for the 1-1 in our For the Belt League for weeks because I knew that Mario didn't want to take Johnathan Taylor, and it was stupid. And I was like, you don't deserve that pick, almost. Because Johnathan Taylor's just a better player. I like CEH, fine. I think he's a good player. He can be a good role player for you. I'm not saying you don't necessarily want him on your roster. But as far as where he was taken and the amount of hype that he got to throw off the Johnathan Taylor train and fuck up a lot of people's dynasty rosters by buying into that hype, he's got to be a bust. His best finish ever was 21st. That's pretty good. He just finished 38th. Not as good. You're outside of the top two. Like, he's not a starting running back at that point. But now you expect me, with the Chiefs pivoting their offense, bringing in MVS and Juju Smith-Schuster and Sky Moore and Ronald Jones and Isaiah Pacheco in the draft. You expect me to believe that CH is going to get more opportunities than he has. I just don't buy it. I don't buy it, and I'm kind of out on the Edwards-Helaire experience. I hope he turns around. He's a fun player. He seems like a cool guy, and it'd be cool to watch the Chiefs go, but I just don't buy it.
Yeah, he's a bust, dude. I mean, Darryl Williams had 144 carries last year.
Whew.
Get at me. He missed some time, 7 games. But in the games he did play, it was 12 carries per game. Like, this is not helping you. This is not helping your fantasy.
And it's not like they throw it to him enough to make it worth it either.
Yeah, 19 catches. Like, that's garbage considering.
Yeah. He's supposed to be like a PPR monster guy. That was the whole thing when he was coming out, was that, Patrick Mahomes is going to throw the ball all the time.
Yeah.
Apparently, no, that's just not how it worked.
It is not how it worked. So, yeah, and you all thought, all you crazy people thought, I'll just upgrade the O-line, and he's just going to shoot off like a rocket.
Wait, who are those crazy people that said
all
that?
All of you crazy people.
All of them.
All of us crazy people. I mean, we weren't crazy enough to take him with a 101, but shit, whatever. Hey, speaking of the 101 from this class, 2-time Doak Walker Award winner Johnathan Taylor went at the 102 to me. So what up? Thank you again. Huge year. 332 carries. Holy smokes. This isn't crazy. This isn't crazy. Incrazible. It's insane. 1,800 yards plus there. 40 catches, that's more than CEH. 20 all-purpose touchdowns. Like, what are we doing here? This guy is amazing. And I don't know what to say. He was only out-targeted by Nyheim Hines by 6 targets last year. That's pretty good. That's impressive. Really good. And I think about Matt Ryan, and I remember, the Devonta Freeman days, like a lot of dump-offs, little passes there. If you can rejuvenate that kind of relationship and just I mean, the sky's the limit. We all know. Johnathan Taylor's the most valuable asset in fantasy football outside of the Superflex world.
Yeah.
And so
Maybe even in the Superflex world.
I mean, it depends on who you ask. So,
Yeah, for
probably-
sure. I mean, this man is averaging 5.3 yards per carry since entering the league. He's 20 yards shy of averaging 1,500 yards a season and 14 and a half touchdowns a season. Like that, if you're dreaming of that type of production out of your running back room.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the guy, and he's still young. This is his second year, and he's doing those numbers. Like the sky's the limit for Johnathan Taylor. Good luck, everyone that has to go against him.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we give him the God level stud. He's right next to
Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson. So you can really piece together a solid roster out of this draft class.
You really could. This is a good one. You could,
Sure.
Yeah, I could make a team that I could maybe win a championship with.
Easy, dude. Easy.
Yeah.
No problem. You got Cole Kmet to back it up. Burrow, quarterback. I mean, who's your RB2, you know? You tell
Shit,
me when we get done.
You could make a super flex team
Yeah, there you go.
with this class.
I want to know who your RB2 in this class is when we're all said and done here. You know, we could be, because we're about to touch on a what I want to call a weird section right here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's hard to you know, be super excited. So we'll start off with J.K. Dobbins, who we're on that stretch. He was the number 3, with the 103 in this draft, and he missed all of last year. You know, the injury, but everything is still there. You know, this team is very unchanged. It seemingly sold out on the pass game by trading away Hollywood Brown and not replacing him in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is a pass catching running back. When he came out of Ohio State, he was just doing everything. You know, he was like who CEH wanted to be. And so he can come out and capitalize on those pass game opportunities that now exist in a greater volume and just pick it up where he left off, you know, if he can come back from the injury without any issues and they fix that turf situation or whatever.
Yeah, and that's the only reason I have him as a hold. I really, really like Dobbins as a player. He's probably a starter, but anytime you have a running back with a serious injury that takes him out for a full year and then a changing offense that he's coming back to, it's just, you know, maybe don't start him week 1. Let's see how he kind of rolls out, unless you have to, obviously. If he's your best running back, then go for it. But I don't think it's like, I wouldn't be scared necessarily to start Dobbins if I had to, but if I had another option, I'd probably wait just to see kind of how he looks when he's on his way back and how they're going to use him in that offense. Because, you know, yeah, you're right. They traded away Hollywood Brown with no replacement. So the common sense thing says that they're going to run the ball more. I guess my question would just be, are they going to run it more with Lamar Jackson or more with the running backs? Or maybe they've got something cooked up that maybe a lot of short passing games, so they don't need like a speed guy. Who knows? And that's just any reasons like that. But I'm a pretty cautious guy when it comes to starting people off injuries. Pretty much only my true blue blood superstars will get started coming off an injury. So, you know, I like Dobbins a lot, though, for sure.
May open camp on pup list. Well,
See?
well, I was just about to say I kind of like him as a buy low or whatever, buy low-ish. Feel like he could be had for a first right now.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe that's what your first will turn into from next year. We'll see. I can only dream. I know who is rostering him, so little less of a chance, but we'll roll with it. All right. Next up, we have DeAndre Swift. I should have named my son DeAndre instead of Devonta, and I wouldn't have messed that up. No, just joking, Oscar. You're the man. Okay, so it's all about the health for him to me. If he can stay healthy, he's got to have top 5 potential, right?
Yeah, he's a stud, I think.
So, yeah, what's up? He missed 5 games last year and still managed to be a top 15 back. He caught 62 balls.
76 targets. And
Yeah.
he missed 5 games.
Yeah.
He's
That's
getting targeted
insane.
like a receiver.
They're acting like he's J.D. McKissick. This
It's
is
fucking Matt
ridiculous.
Forte all over again. Let's go. I love Matt Forte.
Man.
I need another 1,000-yard rusher, 1,000-yard receiver. I don't think Matt Forte actually ever quite pulled that off, but he was close, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Well, you know who wasn't close? DeAndre Swift. We'll get
That's
there,
true.
though. And the problem with him not getting any closer is having that vampire Jamaal Williams on the team. He's due for 30% of the target or the carries, right?
That's fair. I guess here's my thing with Swift. I think he's a slow burn so far, but the Lions just got a lot spicier on offense with the addition of Jameson Williams. And, you got Goff there, who's passable, then Hawkinson. Last year, it was the Swift and Hawkinson show, and now there's going to be at least more bodies there. You got Amon-Ra came alive. You bring in DJ Chark whenever Jameson Williams is ready to go. Now you have bodies there. So I don't know that maybe Swift's target load or maybe like snap percentage is going to go up, but I think you could see his efficiency go up because he's not really going to be the only guy to guard anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. And, going into last year, there was like the hype, like, oh, he's going to play in the slot and Jamaal will hold down the backfield. And I don't know. I don't know if we're going to see anything like that now. Like you're saying, they've rejuvenated the passing game. DJ Chark is there now, on top of Jameson Williams. So it's getting a little congested. Those targets are going to definitely get soaked up, just like you're saying. So we might have to see him as more of a conventional runner. And I think he's got plenty of potential in that role. But he sure as hell was a better fantasy asset when he was catching all those fucking balls.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
What do we got him as a starter?
I actually have him in the stud category. I really believe in the in his efficiency going up. I think I think maybe he doesn't get 76 targets, but I bet he still gets at least 50 at the very least, which is pretty good for a running back. And then if he can actually do stuff with his opportunities, because he's not like the only fucking guy. So everyone's either on Hawkinson or on Swift. So as soon as he catches the ball, he goes down. I'd have to look. I actually didn't even look to see his yards after the catch, but it just seems like he has a chance to kind of break out more, maybe get a little lost when you have old JMO burning up down the field. And then you got Chark, who let's not forget, Chark ran a 4.3 something. So now you've got guys that can kind of go deep, maybe open up the middle of the field a little bit because you can't just have everybody sitting there down. Maybe not like a stud at the end of this year, but maybe like as the Lions start to go, I think he starts to go. So yeah, maybe like borderline starter, stud, like in that area. I've got him as a stud. I believe in it. Maybe I'm buying into that Lions hype like the rest of the world a little bit.
Is there Lions hype?
People are excited. I don't think people are saying they're necessarily going to be like good, but people are getting more excited about the Lions.
Is it like a Jets 2020 situation?
Kinda, I think so.
I'm trying to calibrate my excitement. I tend to get not as excited unless you're an undrafted wide receiver, and then I'm like,
oh, then you're all over it.
Yeah, I walk in at a 10. So, okay, well, cool. Let's talk the next. He had 480 yards after the catch last year. That Swift guy, pretty impressive.
Okay. Pretty good. So yeah, maybe I'm off base on that, but so maybe it won't go up. But I like him a lot. So
yeah, there's nothing not to like. If, like I said, if he stays healthy, definitely a stud. That's where I'm at on him. But speaking of health, we got Cam Akers up next. The Rams. Damn, man, what do you say about Cam? I want to call him a stud, but fuck me, like what do you do?
I've got him as a starter just because of the injury. He looked good in the playoff return, but he's still, like I want to see that health hold up. And then, there's just a lot going on with the Rams. There's a lot of, you got Cooper Kupp there. Now you bring in Allen Robinson. They're going to throw the ball. But if Akers can get to where he was before he got hurt, then yeah, I like him as a stud. He's kind of the opposite. Like Swift was in the stud, but a borderline starter. Just flip it, like in the starter, borderline stud for Akers.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, more than 5 carries in the regular season, probably.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, let's start with the 6 carries, and then we'll get excited about
Go from there.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that they want to run the ball. They do, even though they have an awesome pass attack. You see what they did with Sony Michel on a seemingly rental year, gave him 200 carries. So, the opportunity is there, and it's huge. You got Darrell Henderson in the house, and then Kyron Williams is there as well. And I kind of look. I know we talked about Kyron as like a wasted pick by the Rams, and they're over there playing with Monopoly Money, and like they're like, we have 1 pick this year, let's just do it. They just, whatever they want to do. But with the way this is shaken out, and the injury between Henderson and Akers, and just the opportunity, I see a little bit of a window where this could be a 3-headed monster from time to time. But I think if Cam hits the ground running, he's gonna steal it. He has the potential. I think this is where we can go back to the original question, and maybe we're not there yet. But I still want you to be thinking about who you think your RB2 in this class is. Yeah, we got 1 guy left that could be a contender for that. So we can wait. We can wait until we cross that bridge. But what's up, man? You can write it. You were out of the room.
I was going to say, spoiler alert, LaMichael Pirine.
Oh, I don't have any notes for LaMichael Pirine. No. So next up is Keyshawn Vaughn. Bust.
Yeah.
Busted.
I don't think we need to spend a ton of time on Vaughn, but
as I
that's
did
unfortunate.
in my research, I did not spend a ton of time on Vaughn. It is. I did type like 4 things. He had less than 40 carries. Rojo's gone. Whatever. Rachaad White, baby.
Yeah,
Let's rock.
RDR favorite.
Yes, sir.
His Vaughn's only chance to not be a bust was for the Bucks to not draft a running back.
Yep.
Like they just drafted one, he's a bust. They told you that. The Buccaneers are actively telling you that they don't want Keyshawn Vaughn anymore.
Yeah. I mean, yep. They told us, and we heard them loud and clear 2 years ago. 40 carries last year. Come on.
Yeah,
the writing's on the wall.
Silly. Yeah.
They spell rust with a B. Yeah, out of here. Next up, we got Zack Moss. Rust.
I kind of have him as a bust as well.
What?
I don't know.
What?
Maybe a hold, but it seemed like Singletary kind of took that job at the end of last year, and now you got the addition of James Cook. I don't know. Somebody's going down in that area. It's either going to be Moss or Singletary, and we're not really talking about Singletary today. So I'm going to talk about Moss, and I think he has the potential to bust out at the end of this year. Like, in a bad way.
Bust out, man.
Yeah.
Like, bust out
like
of the
bust
locker room.
Out of Buffalo.
Oh, you mean bust out. He's going to ticket and bust out of there. Yeah, I got him as a bust as well.
Okay.
It is what it is. The draft capital on James Cook just makes you know everything you need to know. Mm-hmm. And from there, it is what it is. And like you said, Singletary really did have a pretty established role. Less carries than Sony Michel, but what are you going to do? Yeah, Zack Moss. Maybe you can carve out a red zone role. I think that
fun.
potential has always been there. Some of that Utah film is kind of aggressive in that kind of a way. So, But cool. Next up, Darryton Evans.
Yeah.
Who's with the Bears now? So it's another. I don't think he got traded. I think he got straight.
He got cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit a rut.
He's a bust. Yeah. This pick really shouldn't have happened. It should have been much later. I was talking to the guy that made this pick when he took it, and I understood what he was saying, but it obviously went pretty fucking south pretty quick. So yeah, I mean, he's a bust. He hasn't even how many total carries does he have?
Well, the
In 2
answer
seasons.
to that question is another question, because he got injured and was pretty much out for most all of last year. So he has total carries on his career of 16.
Yeah. I mean, even if that's not over 2 years, if that was your
That is
rookie
2
year,
years.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. If that was just your rookie year getting 16 carries, I'm probably calling you a bust. So, yeah, it's one of those things. It is what it is.
App State, gotta do what you gotta do. That was he was the 12th pick in that draft, and man, him and Zack Moss were both little surprisers, but
Oh, it's the same
one
guy.
was worse than the other. Oh, fuck me, dude.
Hey, he also took Justin Jefferson, so
Okay, you good? You healthy?
Oh yeah, that's also the same guy that had I seen my DMs, he wanted to trade me that 110. He got Jefferson for Le'Veon Bell.
yeah, so
He could have had all three of them, man. The three-headed monster.
Oh wow. Okay, so rolling up next is Antonio Gibson. And Antonio Gibson, I don't know what my notes really say. They say get sad, stay sad, because I just want this guy to have a beautiful career. What is my deal with the Washington football team? I just want all their players to just play their best.
they're
Go
your
out there.
version of the Colts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. If they got a quarterback, it doesn't matter. Life goes on. So, yeah, surprisingly, Antonio Gibson hit like the 12th in PPR running backs. So that was surprising to me. And he had 258 carries, which I thought was more than I kind of expected. But we have Brian Robinson here. There's
Yep.
plenty to say about J.D. McKissick coming back and how Antonio Gibson, who, historically has had a wide receiving or a receiving role when he was with Memphis, is coming out with 42 catches only. And it's not enough, man. I'm glad you had 1,000 yards on the ground. That's amazing. But you kind of have a bit of a powerhouse sharing the backfield with you. Might eat into your red zone work, which I honestly wasn't really a strong suit with only 7 touchdowns on 258 carries. It's a little weak. So you see an opportunity for him to lose a little bit of the traction. Obviously, he's losing his stranglehold on the alpha role in this backfield. But you got Wentz in town. Is this the best quarterback they've had in Washington in the past since Kirk Cousins left?
Does Fitz count?
Nah.
Like if he
didn't
would have
really
played?
play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Fitz would have played, I would have said Fitz, but yeah, probably.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I got a lot of hopes for this team and a lot of hopes for Antonio Gibson. And I put him as a stud because I'm just trying to stud him up, man. I'm trying
Stud
to
him into existence.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Stud him up.
Go ahead.
No, I was just repeating him. I thought it was cool.
Oh, gotcha. I got him as a starter, borderline stud. Would be a stud if not for Ron Rivera's insistence that Brian Robinson is there to split the workload. And, Gibson was already at a 56.3% of the snap share. So I don't know how much more he can split snaps. He's already about 50%. So if it goes down even more, that's concerning. You already brought up the receiving game. That's concerning. J.D. McKissick going to Buffalo probably would have been better for the whole world. We wouldn't have had to hear about James Cook from AJ, and J.D. McKissick would have fucked off. And
Damn. Why does that make me proud?
don't worry, I'll start calling him James Conner instead of James Cook. and AJ will just slowly, strangle me, and then that'll be the end of that. It'll be fine. But I agree with you, man.
Yeah,
J.D. McKissick, get the F out of here, man.
And I love J.D. McKissick. He has been an awesome little player for for the Belt League. But all of that just has me worried about Gibson's ceiling. However, he has proved that he is a good player. And to answer your question, I'm assuming Gibson was the guy you were thinking about. If I had to pick the second best just pure running back in this class, it would probably be Gibson. But as far as like a fantasy number 2, like the number 2 fantasy guy I'd want, it would be Swift.
Okay. Yeah, I can agree with that. So how the mighty have fallen. Cam Akers and J.K. Dobbins. That's what injuries will do to you.
Yeah.
It happens.
So, damn, that's sad. Well, the next guy, man, the next guy's on fire right now. A.J. Dillon.
Hey-o.
What's up, dude? How is this happening? What are you gonna say about A.J. Dillon?
I've got Dillon as a starter. I mean,
Yeah.
Dillon had 803 yards and 7 touchdowns on 187 attempts. That's low level, like break in case of emergency starter range. I mean, you got to factor in the up and down nature of the numbers for Dillon, because a lot of the time it was if Joan wasn't there, he had more, and then he kind of just ebbed and flowed. But I do see a bigger workload coming for Dillon. I see a more 50-50 split in the run game with Jones, and then I could see them both getting more time in the receiving game with the loss of Adams. I think they're going to go to a more balanced and a more hit you from everywhere style of attack than basically just Devontae Adams is better than your whole defense and let's just throw it to him. So yeah, I think Dillon's definitely a starter. You could, in theory, if you had them both, you could use him as a handcuff, or you could roll out Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon on a weekly basis, and you'd probably be all right if that's what you needed to do. They're both going to see the field a lot. Matt LaFleur, I mean, I talk about it all the time, but he constantly talks about wanting to have 2, possibly even 3 guys, seeing Kylan Hill sneak back in there after he gets healthy. But yeah, Dillon's going to be a starter, and especially with, I think, the writing maybe on the wall. I said this before that Aaron Jones might be on the way out just because of the way his contract's structured. His cap hit kind of spikes at the end of this year. So we could see Aaron Jones out the door. And if that happens, A.J. Dillon is now on his own. So I think you got to go get A.J. Dillon if you can, but he's definitely a starter.
Right on, man. A.J. Dillon or Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
A.J. Dillon.
Okay, that was the easy one. I was just putting that out.
Zero hesitation.
Yeah, I mean, he out-touched your boy Aaron Jones, even though there's a little more playing time. It still means something. It is the two-headed monster. And, he's got like that T. Higgins level where like, hey, he might be the number 2 on his team, but he might be the number 1, not on your roster, but
somewhere else. Yeah.
Right. So that's incredible. We all know how awesome he is. Boston College, what an education. So you got to do what you got to do.
Also, just one of the best humans on earth. If you ever just want to
you're biased.
Laugh at somebody just being really goofy and funny and really into what they're into, just go follow A.J. Dillon on Twitter. It's just a very positive experience.
I don't know if I have time for that. A positive experience? Come on now. That sounds awesome, man. I know he collects cards and he likes
he collects
hot sauce, applesauce.
He loves applesauce. He collects cards, so he's always posting about cards. But he's become so ingrained in Wisconsin, like some little town in Wisconsin has already given him the key to the city, just because he was Door County, Wisconsin. He's gotten the key to, and just all kinds of shit, man. He's just always messing around on there. I told Taylor, obviously my girlfriend, about something funny he did on Twitter the other day. If I can find it real quick, I'll tell you guys about it. But yeah, man, he's just a good dude, and I'm really excited to watch him kind of explode and maybe even end up in that stud territory.
Whew. Man, he got drafted behind a brick wall, but he's making it work one brick at a time. Hell yeah. Well, while you frantically Twitter search, we will skip ahead to LaMichael P. Ryan. Sorry, Brett. Sorry, dude.
All right, next.
So after that, we have Joshua Kelly.
Next.
Okie dokie. And next up, and bringing up the rear for this class, was not drafted, was rostered by AJ for a time, but James Robinson. And might not be healthy for the start of camp, but what are you going to do? I look at this guy as having all the potential in the world. He had that 240 carry game or season as a rookie, and just came out and blew it up. Travis Etienne is evidently looking up to Deebo Samuels as a role model, so maybe he's trying to get a little more work as a versatile guy instead of a traditional runner. So that leaves James Robinson to go all the way in that backfield. And
that'd be nice.
Yeah. You know who's coaches now? Doug Peterson, who is famous for running back committees,
So watch out for that early Snoop.
Yeah, so James Robinson, has got stud potential. I don't think he's going to get there in the first part of the season, but I think down the stretch he could reestablish himself and keep that red zone work going. And just if he does what he does, he was the only show in town, and he made it work. And now he's got a more well-rounded team, better coaching around him. And the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. The passing game's been revitalized a little bit. Zay Jones in the house.
What up?
So could just open up everything they need to make James Robinson, that fantasy star again.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can't ignore a top 10 finish in his rookie year and a top 25 spot last year, even though it was kind of a down year. I mean, Etienne's coming back and you're scared about that, but like you're saying, man, James Robinson deserves a chance. I have him as a starter, borderline hold there, just to see kind of how he comes back with the Jaguars. But yeah, I'm with you 100%.
Right on, baby. Well, that's the end of the running backs, unless you got something awesome to talk about Wisconsin.
No, I can't find it. It's even harder because I don't even honestly remember exactly what I'm looking for.
That would be difficult.
Yeah, I just remember, if I saw it, I would know it, but I can't think of what it was. So we can just ignore it, and if I ever find it, I'll let you guys know.
I'm in. Wisconsin is saying he's the coolest thing since Johnathan Taylor. So what up? Taking it to the next level there.
There you go.
We're going to circle back and run it from the head of the draft this time with the quarterback position. I started this one off. Maybe it's a little bit of a reach. Nah, not a reach. Let me preach. I drafted Joe Burrow. And I did so in the early second. He was the 202. And it was a coin flip on him and Antonio Gibson. After a year of regretting that, I'm back on the horse. I'm happy about my Joey Burrow roster ability. So what are you going to say about this guy? He made magic happen. He did it despite everyone doubting his recovery, everyone doubting the choice of drafting Jamar Chase over Penei Sewell, highlighting the weakness that was his offensive line. And it didn't matter. He didn't care. He went out there and he said, you may think you know what's going on here, but I'm going to show you by the end of this game that you're wrong. And he carried his team to the Super Bowl in a very triumphant fashion. And now, to address all that issue of an O-line and lacking, they went out and busted out the checkbook, man. They did what they had to do to protect him. Gosh, could the guy be top 3 this year? I mean, what's up?
Big time.
2 years.
I got him as a stud, 100%. And I'm going to throw out a hot take for you there.
I'll take it.
Is losing the Super Bowl the best thing to happen to Joe Burrow at this stage of his career, because now he's going to come out swinging and really want it. Like, he made it. He tasted it. Now let's go get it. Let the tiger out, Joe. I think he's going to come swinging. He's going to want it even worse, because not that Joe Burrow would be this type of guy, but you could see, like, oh, you won the Super Bowl. You did what you've been trying to do your whole fucking life in your second year in the NFL. You maybe coast a little bit now, here and there. No, fuck that. Now he made it, got it taken away from him. He's going to come back swinging. He's going to be throwing that ball all over the fucking place, getting Cincinnati back to the Super Bowl. Yeah, he's going to be a stud. He already is a stud, but I think he may match the fantasy QB numbers that you really want him to get, as far, instead of just being like this awesome personality winner type who does put up good numbers. I think he could put up elite numbers over the next few years.
Absolutely. Purple tiger, orange tiger, purple tiger, orange tiger. Yeah, don't give him that Pat Mahomes treatment, lose the Super Bowl and come back and win it, and then just keep on running it deep in the playoffs. Let's see what he can do. Second best thing was losing the Super Bowl. First best had to be Jamar Chase joining the Bengals, man.
That's fair. Yeah. That's fair.
Like, you can't do anything about this, and it's been proven. Unless you got Aaron Donald or something, that might help. But
well, they didn't even stop him. They just stopped him long enough to win a game. But
that's all you got to do, man. So next up, we got Tua Tagovailoa, Miami Dolphin Fish. So, damn, what's going on? This guy's got all the action in the world. He's got Jalen Waddle. He's got Tyreek Hill now. He's got Cedric Wilson. Armstead, anchoring the O-line. A lot has been going his way.
Yeah, you want to talk about put up or shut up time. This is it. This is Tua. All right. I don't want to hear about Tua after this year if he sucks.
Okay.
Just don't want to hear about it. He's got a good offensive line now on paper. He's got great weapons on paper. He needs to do something. Some mild improvement even. Like, just come out, have a pretty decent fantasy year, obviously for him it's not fantasy, but like, have a decent year, lead the Miami
I don't
Dolphins.
give a hell what you do. You better have a good fantasy year. You're looking at me. Yeah.
We got a rookie card we need to sell, so let's go to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I need to sell a bunch of my Tua rookie cards. No, and I like Tua, so I want to see him do well. But to me, this is it. This is it. You got your year 3. You kind of developed your time. You've recovered from the injury from college. Let's come out, prove that you can be here, use these weapons to your advantage, and come out swinging.
Yeah, Tua. What have you done for us lately? Besides have a 7-game winning streak after coming off the injury last year. Besides that, what else have you ever done for us ever? So, yeah, I'm with you, man. When it comes to, excuses, they're going to be running out of them pretty quick. So, don't have to say too much. Tua has been beaten like beating the dead horse situation.
Yes.
So, that one time with the horse. But we'll move right on to another semi-redemption story. We'll call it the Joey Burrow light. Justin Herbert has to be starving for some redemption, for something to prove that this team is what they always seem to be before the season starts and reality sets in, which is a contender, because they kind of flopped on that last year. Despite having bright spots, if you can't, make it into a mesh of a successful season, then it doesn't really matter how the highs were. If you can't break even, what are you doing? So you got Justin Herbert, entering the season as better than Joe Burrow, and now sitting at a place where, are you still calling him a stud?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He's averaging 4,675 yards and 34.5 touchdowns over his first 2 seasons. Like, that's unheard of for a year 2 quarterback. I mean, you're excited when your quarterback finally breaks 4,000 yards. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And like, this guy, like, yeah, maybe the Chargers themselves, the Chargers are the kings of the summer hype and also the kings of the fall disappointment. So that may still end up happening. But Justin Herbert himself is absolutely a stud. He's got a team that's willing to build around him, just like kind of Joe Burrow, like you're talking about. They're building the lineup. They've got his weapons ready to go, and I think he's going to keep producing numbers. Yeah, I mean, the thing that could maybe send him into the upper echelon is a little bit of rushing, like here and there. But other than that, man, yeah, Justin Herbert's absolutely a stud to me.
Okay, yeah, he's definitely a stud. I'm at the point in this episode where I'm just poking you, see what happens.
Fair enough.
Oh no, I could have poked you again, and unless you had something else to say about Justin Herbert, who is obviously a stud. I mean, he's killing it.
Only that I wish I wouldn't have drafted Tua that year.
Yeah,
but rough year. Is what it is.
Sometimes you draft Johnathan Taylor, and the rest is a wash. That's just life. Just joking. I came out all right.
Yeah, you did
all right. Such is life.
So yeah, next up. Wow. Okay, you're up again. Jordan Love, right there.
I mean, this one's pretty easy. It's not an indictment on Jordan Love himself, but you can't wait 5 fucking years for your quarterback to start playing for your fantasy team. No. You can't roster a backup quarterback for 5 years. It's just not going to happen. Now, am I saying that Jordan Love isn't going to have an NFL career? Not necessarily. Am I saying that what he showed on tape so far doesn't get me excited? Absolutely, I'm saying that. But he hasn't really had the chance. And so, yeah, he's a bust. He's a bust from the pure fact that people were taking him, expecting him to be the starting quarterback of the Green Bay Packers the year after they took him. And now it's 2 years since then, and Aaron Rodgers just signed one of the largest deals in NFL history. Like, he's not going anywhere. So either Jordan Love gets traded at some point, which I don't think is very likely to happen, or he just sits as the backup QB to Aaron Rodgers, and that's fine, but not for fantasy.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, nothing to say about Jordan Love. He nailed it. All right, man, I got to wash this crap off of me. Quarterbacks, you done. We're getting into tight ends, and this is it. This is a quick burn to the end. We started out with Cole Kmet. This is a guy I drafted. I don't know if it was good value or not, but I took him where I thought he needed to be taken, and I believe it was the 3-4. I'm going to look real quick just because all my fans want to know. The 3-4, wise move. Thank you. I agree all the way. So you look at him, and I've already mentioned it. He had 84 targets and 564 yards, no touchdowns. So he has plenty of area to improve. He's on that Chicago team that we're talking about is completely devoid of depth in the receiving category. So it's kind of him and the Mooney show. Obviously, Velus Jones is coming in. Apparently, Byron Pringle plays there as well. So the opportunity for Cole Kmet to come in and hit 100 targets and get that top 6 tight end kind of season going is there. A lot of times for tight ends, you have the guys who are elite, and then you have the guys who are a stopgap, and he's kind of borderline both. And so he could put it together and have an amazing season, or he could have another 10 yards per catch and no touchdowns, and the volume goes up a little bit, and he's just a starter. But I think he is starter plus. I'm not calling him a stud because that's kind of rich territory in the tight end group. It's like 5 guys, so I'm not putting him in there, but I'm giving him the starter that I'm happy to have on my roster.
Yeah, I'm with you. He's a starter. Don't really have too much to say. I haven't watched him nearly as much as you because he's one of your guys. But what I will say is this: the last time Aaron Rodgers had his tight end healthy for an entire season, he threw him 10 touchdowns. And Luke Getsy was the quarterback coach for Aaron Rodgers when they did that. So, you would hope that Kmet's at least going to get a couple touchdowns this year, like between, I'd say at a minimum 5. They're going to find a way to get him in there. But if you add 5 touchdowns to 500 yards, that's a pretty decent little tight end season. And then maybe you can improve from there, or maybe it's even better from there year 1. Who knows? But I'm much more excited about Cole Kmet now that Matt Nagy's pieced out.
Straight
yeah.
up. Where did he end up? No, it's just back in Kansas City. Fuck. All right, Adam Troutman ends the class for us.
Bust.
Yeah. I don't know what do you want to do? Name Adam, you know?
I mean, he's a hype machine. All I would hear about in the offseason is Adam Troutman, and he's never finished better than 44th in fantasy.
Oh, that's standard, dude. He was 38th that year.
Oh
PPR.
my gosh. Okay, sorry.
Straight up.
You know what?
38th. So he's still not a starting tight end.
Hey, man.
Even if they're 32
I was going to
teams.
put this in. I was listening to the episode from last year, and Christian nailing it, saying, not buying into this tight end. I've been hearing about the next breakout tight ends without Drew Brees, and I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
Wow.
Nailed it.
What did I say?
You said hold,
Yep.
but you agreed because it's like, you know, Winston in the house, and then I think O.J. Howard's name was mentioned. Like, I think we sniffed it out pretty good. So,
Yeah, they need to do something about this team. It's getting weird. Chris Olave is a step in the right direction, but damn, they could use a tight end.
Did I have any ones I got wrong? I haven't heard.
Yeah,
well, it was just more like,
it's hard not to be wrong. Well, I mean, you know.
Yeah. I got you. I don't know. I just
I would
was
say
looking for a funny one.
Gibson, you said his stock will only go up and up, and that he will surpass J.D. McKissick in the reception world, and that didn't happen.
No, that didn't happen. That
Well, I'll
sucks.
cut that out. No one
Anyway.
needs to know that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Dan. I just was curious. Go ahead. I
think you poo-pooed Gabe Davis, and I think you had higher hopes for Denzel Mims than I did.
Okay.
But that's about it.
Gotcha. Oh, I was just curious. I want to hear the stupid shit I say sometimes.
I must have
Couldn't
been wrong
remember if I
about
just
all
missed
of
it.
them. Well, you know what it is, Rough Draft Research. Welcome to our 2-hour segment called Year 3 Guys. It's been a good time. I had a great time. And next week, we'll be doing second year guys. So it's going to be really fun to look at those rookies from last year and really just grind through the disappointment. You know, I'm going to wear little cups under my eyes to collect my tears, you know.
Yeah.
Burn some sage and hope that I did better with the 2022 rookies. And I had to have, right? Come on, let's be honest. Trey Sermon, I had to have.
Yeah.
So
100, as the kids say.
101.
All right. That's it.
Oh.
Out.
Peace.
See ya.
Sorry, I didn't.